everyone, and welcome back to the channel. Devin Zane here. In this video, I want to do a quick recap and review for The Walking Dead Season 11, Episode 11, Rouge Element. And I do want to say spoiler warning, if you haven't watched this latest episode, you might not want to continue. With that, let's dive into this. So we start off this episode, Eugene laying in bed, Stephanie there right beside him. She's actually reading some of Eugene's writing. Apparently he's writing a science fiction novel. Anyway, she enjoyed it and kissed Eugene and said, I gotta go to work. Now, where does she work is my question. She says she gotta go to work. Do we know what job she actually has? Eugene actually ends up giving Stephanie, or fake Stephanie, we'll find out the name later anyway, but gives her the keys to his apartment and a kiss, and voila, there's the opening. And Princess is here like saying, if a woman says she loves you, she loves you. Okay. So apparently Stephanie goes missing and Eugene gets worried. You could see him sitting here. Obviously he got stood up by her, and the ice cream cones, they're gone. But he's thinking and he's worried, and I understand his girlfriend is missing. So he actually goes to her apartment, and in the next scene, we see Stephanie scrambling and just chunking stuff in a bag, like she's packing up and she is going. And that's when we get the introduction. Eugene confronts this guy in the radio tower and questions him. He's like, I'm just filling in. She's not here. I want to say he said she called in or wasn't able to come. So he's just kind of filling in for her. We get a lot of Connie in this episode as well, which is pretty cool. A lot of dialogue with Kelly, Connie. We'll actually see more Kelly and Connie later on in the episode. In this scene, we got Rosita and another stormtrooper. Stormtrooper, that's funny. Anyway, they're knocking on Stephanie's door, trying to check on her. And Eugene's like, do you have any luck? You have any luck? Is she there? I mean, he is worried. And no luck. So, poor Eugene sure is worried. Meanwhile, we do get some great acting, I think, in this episode from Lance. And we get, he does a great job in this episode, I think. Him and Carol off to a ride, and Lance is actually heading to a opium farm. I believe it's where they are manufacturing medicine for the Commonwealth. Everything, pain, whatever kind of medicine. And Carol's looking around, and you can tell, hey, she's thinking. She's like, just thinking as she's looking around. I mean, I guess this is an outpost, so anyway, you can see them manufacturing, and apparently they are working for the Commonwealth. You get a short sequence with this guy, I can't remember his name, talking to Lance, but first it didn't sound like it was going down too well. We shoot back to Eugene and Stephanie, Eugene and Princess, as Princess knocks on his door, has a casserole dish, and said, if somebody's holding food, you gotta let them in. Well, apparently it was empty, so that was kind of funny. And we get Eugene drunk, pissing on a trash can, got a bottle of liquor in his hand, just kind of sad about Stephanie missing. You can see he posted these pictures, and when Princess walked in, she's like, what's going on here? So he's got the missing poster of Stephanie right there in the middle, and then he later confirms, I believe, the guy on the top right as one of the characters as well. We get a couple Commonwealth soldiers, and they're in the woods. Apparently, these two aren't very good at all. I mean, they don't even seem like they've been trained properly as they struggle. I mean, this guy's clearly struggling. I mean, it's like, have these two had any experience at all? Well, we do know someone who does have experience, so that's when Mercer steps in, slices this walker in half, which was a really, really, really cool scene. And you see him all bloodied up. I mean, to me, this is a poster right here. Mercer just covered in blood. It's pretty badass. We end up getting some dialogue with Kelly and Connie and Mercer all together, and I believe this is where Mercer tells them that Max is his sister. And of course, this is a really heavy Eugene episode, so we get a lot of scenes of Eugene in here, and he's talking to Princess, and they're talking about things, and Princess is just there to be a friend, to support him. We jump back to what I call this opium camp, where they are manufacturing drugs for the Commonwealth. And we end up getting this guy taken into custody by the Commonwealth. Carol, she kind of looks around and it's all women, and he's the only guy. And she has a conversation with Lance, and Lance tells him take him in. And we flip back to where he enters, I believe this is Stephanie's apartment, and the weapon case there. But not too long after this, they actually are in the hallway. There's a couple Commonwealth soldiers and a woman saying, there they are. And you can tell by the look on Eugene's face that they're in deep shit. Thrown back in the cell again, he ends up having another conversation with Lance. And Eugene's just worried. I mean, he is having a mental breakdown. I mean, Josh McDermott does an excellent job at his character and in his acting in this episode. I mean, I thought he did really, really good. Here's a picture of the Tribune, the Commonwealth Tribune. I don't know if anyone's heard, but there's been a lot of rumors that the Civic Republic had a very similar newspaper, and it was the Civic Republic Tribune, which is pretty interesting. Someone slips a note under Connie's door, and you can see at the bottom that's the Commonwealth soldier who interrupted the masquerade and caused a lot of shit. You can see Tyler Davis down there at the bottom. Meanwhile, Eugene's lurking around playing investigator, and ends up getting his ass kicked by Stephanie, or who we'll find out in a minute as Shira. And as you can see in this shot, no glasses, no red glasses. You get some cool dialogue between Lance and Eugene, and Lance telling Eugene that her real name is Shira. So we do find that out. I really like this shot right here because this is pulled directly out of the comic books. As we wrap things up, we see Eugene in an alleyway, and he's actually burning papers. He is actually even burning his science fiction novel that he wrote. He's pretty sad and depressed. And at the end, we see Eugene sitting here, and there is a woman behind him, reminding him of kind of how their radio dialogue was. She said, Taterbug, Taterbug. He immediately recognized that. And he looks back and he's like, what? And it's pretty cool. She ends up telling him, Max, as we call her, is her name for now. She actually tells Eugene, I was the woman on the radio. Hopefully we'll later find out that her name is really Stephanie. And that's how the episode kind of wraps up. It was, like I said, a Eugene-focused episode. Like I said, he did some great acting in this episode. More focused on Eugene. We didn't see Daryl at all, which was surprising. But all in all, it was a pretty good episode. I enjoyed this episode, and I think they're doing a lot of great things with season 11. So hopefully, hey, it's even going to get better and better. We're almost at episode 12, and that's the halfway mark for the last season of The Walking Dead. Hey guys, thanks for watching this video. I'll have another one for you soon. Until then, subscribe and stay tuned.